get into it. Let's talk about it. Who are the real MVPs of the league? Want to say thank you guys who've been following me, following the page, doing all the good things, doing everything right. Dale Dimps for president. You know it. I appreciate all the love and support, everything you guys have done. Appreciate it all, brother. So the Patreon kicked off today. We got some very good videos going to be coming your way. Some very good posts that's going to come your way that's engaging for everybody. Kicking off in April. You guys already got a little sample today to let you know we wasn't BSing. So now, don't forget to hit the like button, good people. Let them know you're not bots. Once again, my name is Carcino, as you guys should know already. And while I'm here, we're going to talk about the real MVPs of the league. The league have y'all fooled. They have y'all fooled. That's right, man. Share the video if you want. But the league had y'all fooled. They had y'all to believe that just because they say it, it becomes a reality. I'm serious. If they say it out their mouth, it becomes reality. If they say LeBron name enough, everybody will start saying LeBron's the GOAT, LeBron's the GOAT, LeBron's the GOAT. Oh yeah, I'm rocking that penny, in case you didn't know. That's that penny. If they keep saying it enough, then it should come true. So they believe in that psyche. So LeBron's in the MVP conversation. Why? Because they mention it. Now they can't mention that because they've already tried to take credit away from Joel Embiid, and just because he misses 3 weeks, he's all of a sudden out of the MVP category. Nothing has happened in 3 weeks to tell me that Joel Embiid isn't the MVP. $100%. I mean, before we used to have common sense, but because of internet and the way they have the way they have cable stations now, there's no more journalism. Journalism is gone. Now it's just more fandom. It's not even a debate. Guys are just yelling at each other. So when you got a situation of who is, well, we'll put Bao on timeout. Bao, go take a break. We're trying to get to a point. People here trying to actually learn something. You can come back after you cool off for a little bit. Now, we put Bao on timeout. He can play. He don't know how to play well with others. Now, let's get back to the gist of things. Well, it's a lot of problems going on, man. It's a lot of things that are going left that shouldn't be going left. You have a lot of scenarios where things are starting to change, and you start to look at the league and start seeing what does most valuable player really mean. Are these really the most valuable players in the game? Well, you got to think like that. Are these the most valuable players? The people that they're saying? Are these people the most valuable player? Seriously. I don't see that. So what we did here was we went to the league, right? Because we wanted to know what was real and what was not real. We said, we got to know. So when we went to check things out, here's what we discovered. Right? Because I wanted to take my equations out of it. Because the person who I think is most valuable player right now is Joel Embiid. The person who I think is the second most valuable player right now is Jokic. And I think it's been those two vying for it for a long time. Donovan Mitchell is in that conversation. And another person that's in the conversation that I put in there, Julius Randle from the New York Knicks. James Harden is in this conversation. Now, we go here to the computer, and if you do an analytics of all the players in the NBA, right? The player who they say is the most valuable player in the NBA to their team is not Joel Embiid. They have Julius Randle at number 1 as the most valuable player to his team. Now, most valuable player normally is the player that both exuberates the valuability to their team. Like if they weren't playing, this team would be worse. Now, this thing is not 100% accurate due to the fact of the fact that trades happen, and certain players were traded. So James Harden, they have at number 2 on their list for most valuable to their team. But they didn't equate the fact that James Harden was traded, and it's hard to value that. Joel Embiid, they don't even have in the top 5 on this list. That's why computers just can't do the job. But by statistics, Luka Doncic is 3rd on this list. Yeah, Luka Doncic is third on the list. So they have Joel Embiid below all of them. Can you believe that? They don't even have Jokic up there like that. No, Jokic is they have Jokic ahead of Joel Embiid. But Julius Randle is number one most valuable player on the list. And that's crazy because he was in mine. But they got him as number one statistically. So they have number one, Julius Randle, James Harden at number two, and number three is Luka Doncic. Right after that, they have Jokic. Then after that, they have Damian Lillard. Then they have Joel Embiid. Now ask me, what's wrong with that list? That list is pretty accurate going by statistics. They also had Devin Booker high on the list. Donovan Mitchell was lower than I expected. I had Donovan Mitchell and gave him far more credit than they did. They have him very far on the list. They have Devin Booker ahead of him. And not Chris Paul ahead of him. Devin Booker. I found that to be interesting. So the computer, LeBron James, here's the thing. LeBron James was on the list, but not that high. He was like 13th or 14th on the list. Because they're going by statistics based on the value and plus minuses and all of these different equations. And then they also equate what the team does when they're not on the floor with the plus minuses. Like when they're not on the floor, the impact of the team. So if the team is still winning games and successful and doing well without you being on the court, then hey, it's what it is. But see, most valuable player is supposed to be an award that's given where they say, hey, without you, this team can't win. We can't win a game without you. And because of that, you are the most valuable player in this entire league. Out of everybody on the team, you are performing at a high pace. And you're outperforming every other person on the team that is the most valuable to their team. That's it. And I don't feel LeBron James has outperformed anybody who's been the most valuable to their team. If you tell me LeBron James has outperformed Julius Randle, Harden they had at number two, but they never injected the fact that Harden was involved in a trade where he missed and sat out games, and he did play games in Houston where Houston was losing games, but he was really just biding his time, not trying to get hurt until the deal was done. So that's what Jamal Murray has clearly had one of the worst seasons of his career. Oh, Jamal Murray has been awful this year. Complete awful. He has totally went down. I mean, the Lakers are playing terrible. And I mean that every other player on the team is playing just horrible right now. Absolutely horrible. So my thing is, where is he making the team better at? When LeBron was there playing, the team was shooting 33, 34% as a team. And that's not going to cut it in this league. They're shooting a very low percentage from three. So they're not hitting twos, they're not hitting threes. Everybody is below their percentage of what they normally do. So if LeBron is the most valuable, he's way below what he was last year. He hasn't went up. Where is the greatness? What are they using to equate greatness? Hit the like button, good people. This is not me hating on LeBron. This is me giving you guys facts. Would I say LeBron has outperformed Dame Lillard and what Dame has had to equate? The reason why Julius Randle is most valuable player to me is because his game has turned around and did a whole 180, and he's been asked to lead the team, and people are buying in and they're actually competing. They have a coach who got them actually getting on the same level. Because Julius Randle was great last year. It's just that guys were mentally not all the way there with him. He was there, but they weren't. Now they got a winning attitude. They got people in there that want to win. They're playing hard every night. The Knicks is not an easy out no more. They changed the mentality. Luka, people have bought into Luka. The team believes in him. They don't mind him leading the team. There's no conflict of why are they getting this guy all the praise. They believe it now. We work through this guy. We trust this guy. He could take us places. We could actually beat the best teams in the league. We are one of the best teams. Porzingis changed his game because they were about to trade him. So he started changing his game up and said, okay, I'm going to stop shooting so many 30-foot threes. I'm going to start going inside, working in the post, scoring on these little guards on pick and rolls and mismatches, taking advantage of it. And it's like, dude, you could have been doing this for the past 4 or 5 years. You got a point guard on you and you shooting threes. Take advantage of it. Go to the rim. You are 7 foot tall. Be 7 foot tall. Once he started to buy in when he came back from the injury and started changing his game, they changed their tune about trading him. So no, this isn't a LeBron James hate video. Sorry to disappoint you, but no, this is not that. We have no reason to hate on the guy. This is just actual facts, and we wanted to let you know about the real MVPs of the league. Giannis was ahead of LeBron yet again because Giannis is a very valuable person to the Milwaukee Bucks. But they didn't have Giannis all the way up there because the team actually plays well when Giannis is not in the game. Their plus minuses don't fall completely into the toilet once he's not in the game. They've been able to sustain. And the same thing with Donovan Mitchell. If Donovan Mitchell misses a game or he's sitting on the bench, the Utah Jazz is still able to sustain. So that kind of negates a lot of his category for putting him as most valuable player to the team. Now, if you take Julius Randle off the Knicks, they'll be 2 and whatever. The New York Knicks will compete, but they ain't going to win games without Julius Randle. The team has bought into the fact that Julius Randle is the A side. He is your star. He is the guy you work the offense through. Once they bought into that, the Knicks start winning games. And they start beating teams that people didn't think they should be in competition with. The Knicks have blown about 5 games this season, just blown them. with bad decisions down the stretch. But you'll learn from that. You'll learn that if you're not Julius Randle, Peyton, you don't take the shot. Ever. Ever. If Eldridge Payton think he should be shooting the ball, change your mind. In the last 2 minutes of a game, you should not be shooting the ball. I know everybody's had that when they was little, that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they throw it up and it goes in. Well, you got that out your system. You threw it up and it did not go in. It wasn't even close to going in. It didn't even have a dream about going in. Well, to me, things are different. You know, a lot of people, they move in different waves. You know, they make different decisions about life. They have different views, opinions, thoughts, dreams, hopes. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. All of it just so different. And people just got to realize that it's so much more. It's so much more. Right. Everybody works hard. Everybody could run the gym. Everybody could practice plays. But unless you're able to execute on the date of, most of you are not going to be successful. The great ones know how to handle that pressure. Dame Lillard used to be like that. He had hit a game winner when he was young back in 2015. Dame I told you, all fired up. Dame Lillard today, he hit a game winner, same demeanor. From when he took the shot, he hit it, calm. Heart rate don't accelerate, you stay calm. That way you get to make more of those. You keep your heart rate level. He learned a lot from Kobe Bryant. You know, he talk about the Kobe game a lot because the Kobe Bryant game is what really brought him out. Because if you're able, like he scored, I think he was a rookie. He scored like 35 points on Kobe. Kobe scored 40-something, but still. He scored 30-something on Kobe, and he was going after Kobe. He was bringing them back and everything, and they didn't win, but he got his respect. And Kobe was like, you gonna be something. Like, this guy has no fear. Like, he would just shoot the ball every time. Like, he does not care. Same jersey for 3 days. I wore this jersey one time and wasn't even for a whole day. It was just for like the video. I think that was last week. I'm like, for real? Yeah, anybody who believes that has not been watching the basketball games. The real MVP is wearing 23. He doesn't believe that. So if he don't believe it, I know it ain't true. Well, you got to look at it like this. Who votes for MVP? Who votes for most valuable player? People who don't play the damn game and probably have never played the game, at least not professionally. They get to vote on who's most valuable player. Sports journalists who already have a bias towards certain players. The reason why James Harden don't have like 3 or 4 MVPs. So if you're not a professional butt sniffer, you might not get MVP. And LeBron James, we all know what he does. He loves sniffing butts. So if he's sniffing butts and he only got, what, 5 or 4 MVPs, and he only got that many, that shows you he really wasn't that damn good. Because they want to give it to him. They be like, man, I want to give it to you. You a butt sniffer. We want to give it to you. LeBron butt sniffing James. They would love to give it to him every year. I already told you what they did to a sports writer. They who didn't have LeBron James in his top 5. They were all down his throat to make sure when he go on TV, he got to put LeBron James in his top 5. And he's like, I don't have LeBron in my top 5. Why do you keep insisting that I put him there? I don't feel he's top 5. And the guy was like, he's up there. And the guy had him higher than I would have put him. But still, he's like, man, he's like right outside that bubble. Why can't that be my narrative? Because that's what my narrative is. They was like, okay, no, we just thought that you might wanted to mention it, but that's okay. You can keep what you want. Oh, they kept what he wanted, all right. And then he was punished for it. You see? See how this thing moves? They want to know who gonna play ball and who ain't gonna play ball. Oh, they real good. They put people in scenarios. Oh yeah, all the time. Put them in scenarios, put them in situations that they know that don't make any sense whatsoever. And you're like, that just don't make any damn sense. And scratching my head, just thinking about why was that even delivered? Because that's the way they want it. Welcome to the league, partner. Oh, Rachel Nichols? Is that what you believe? Rachel Nichols. No, LeBron got his favorite already. Trust me, everybody knows about it. They know who Bron's favorite is. If you don't know already, it's on the Patreon too. They got spies on the Patreon right now. There's people signed up on the Patreon just to spy, to see what I was gonna say, and see was the way they could sue me. Which leads me to this right here. I want to make it clear legally, so that they law team and everybody around them would know legally. Listen, the Carcino for Life channel and the Carcino for Life Patreon did not say Drake hired to have someone murdered. Okay? Did not say that. It did not happen. So that's my disclaimer right there. You can go back, you can listen to the audio. So that lawyer who came by, sniffing his beak in to what was going on, read with understanding. Read with understanding. Oh, yes. You saw the list what we got on the Patreon coming. Who's the most valuable candidate that might be out there that we didn't mention, that we might be sleep on? Y'all can let me know if y'all have some guys who y'all think that we didn't mention that should be getting some attention and some kudos for most valuable player. You can mention their names. Kyrie Irving. That's interesting, but that'll be kind of hard to prove when James Harden is outperforming him on the same team. James has played more games than him and has outperformed him. Kawhi Leonard. Absolutely. Kawhi Leonard is definitely a name that should be up there. But here's the situation. When Kawhi doesn't play, the team is still able to sustain in some of the games. But they do lack, like the scoring of the other team does seem to increasingly goes up. That's funny. I also know why Kyle Kuzma is struggling now. I know what's going on with Kyle Kuzma now, so that video will be coming quite soon. Oh, Rick James. You waiting on that Rick James video? Everybody got something they waiting on the Patreon. The Rick James versus Don King video? Yeah, that's coming up, baby. That was a title fight. And it's called Letting It Go in Ohio. Rick James and me, Don King. The prognosticators. We're going to be doing that on the Patreon. And Carcino will be doing the Don King voice. Yeah, that video, that's going to be a funny video, man. That's only going to be on the Patreon. I'm only putting that one on the Patreon. So, y'all asked for it, so y'all finna get it. Oh, the Nas and Khalees, when Nas being drugged by Khalees. That's going to be on the Patreon as well in April this month. Can't tell you which day, but it's coming in this month. Russell Westbrook is MVP. That's very interesting. Why do you feel Russ is MVP? Have I seen Omni-Man? No, I've not seen Omni-Man. Yeah, we mentioned Donovan Mitchell already. But is the computer right? I don't have a problem with the computer selection. Normally I don't really take in consideration what the computer says, but if Julius Randle was most valuable player, I'm all for it. I am all for it. Joker was on there, but it wasn't, he was high on the list. I think he was third, because I remember number 2 was oh, good. Oh yeah, hit the like button. Y'all just got here. He said, I'm loving this NBA app. No, they have James Harden as James Harden is number 2 on the list behind Julius Randle. And I think Jokic was behind him. Or something like that. But Julius Randle checked all the boxes. He checked out all the boxes, plus, minuses, everything. Without Julius Randle, the New York Knicks are done. Done. Julius Randle is truly the most valuable player in the NBA. If you look at everything, the intangibles, everything, it's Julius Randle. Straight up. Without a fraction of a doubt, it is Julius Randle, the most valuable player. It's not just numbers, it's impact of the game. When he's on the floor, everybody else plays better. They play better when he touches the floor. That's what this is about. It's not always about the numbers. It's about the impact on that floor. LeBron's imprint is not the same as everybody else's. Well, you can ask everybody in the chat who Patreon members, is it worth it? They'll tell you that. I'll let them answer that question for you. You ain't gotta listen to me. I'll let everybody else tell you. Oh, my numbers will tell you. When people come there, I have one of the highest rates of people staying on my Patreon. Like most people have Patreon for a month or two and leave. If anybody leave, they come back. They be like, man, I left because, I had to pay this. I'll be like, ain't no problem. Info will still be here when you come back. And they come back. So I have like a very long list of people staying on there. Yeah, but you bring up another point. Is wins and losses, is that a sticking factor for most valuable player? I think so. I think wins should matter. I mean, if your team is like 1-37, you could be lighting it up on the court. It's not equating to wins and losses. I'm not saying you got to be the best team in the NBA like Julius Randle. The Knicks is only in like 7th or 8th spot, 8th seed. But to me, he's the most valuable. They wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for him. Like last year, Jimmy Butler up for MVP. He definitely deserved to be there because he clearly was the most valuable player on his team. And without Jimmy Butler, the team could function, but not as well without him. They light up when they playing with Jimmy. Right, because people don't give James Harden his credit. They hate him so much, they don't even want to give him his roses. Like, the man got to have a championship ring. Like, James Harden. Russ had that 30, 20, and 10. And I'm like, man, the dude had like 30-something, 20, and 10 the other night. And it was like, he put up a 30, 20, and 10, or 10, something like, wasn't he Wilt Chamberlain or something? And what they came in and bashed. Stephen A. came in and bashed him, man. I'm like, how do you bash a man who give you 30, 20, and 10? I mean, those numbers don't impress me. The Knicks match up really well with Brooklyn. Even with KD back, they match up well with Brooklyn. Now, what Brooklyn and everybody else is going to do is try to get the ball out of Randle's hands. He needs to have another person with him that knows, like, okay, I'm with you. And he does. They play, when he playing with the right players on the floor at the same time, when they try to double him, he make them pay. He can give up the rock. Before, Julius Randle just used to be a black hole. You give him the ball, he wasn't trusting nobody. He was shooting. Now he'll actually pass the ball. Well, Julius Randle lost about 10, I'll say he lost about 12 pounds. And that 12-pound weight loss, and him just refocusing himself has made him a much better player. He's much quicker. And by him being left-handed, he's just like a genius around the rim. It's like everybody in the league forget that the man is left-handed. Like, oh yeah, he is left-handed. I forgot. I'm like, you idiots. Whoa! The Bucks. I haven't heard that in a long time. Biggity, 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 biggity Bucks. You talking about the Cubs are going to the series, baby? This is our year. No, it ain't. but the hopes is up. Man, I wouldn't even call that. That was a rip-off. They ripped Tampa off. Tampa would have won hockey, baseball, and football. They would have won the triple crown of sports. They got screwed. Cleveland got screwed. Rays ain't have a chance against all that. Oh, I hope you guys got all that Bucks money like I did, boy. The Milwaukee Bucks brought the money home, baby. They backed up the money truck for Cino. Dubbers. Yeah, well, it all depends, man. Like what do you really see for the future of the players in the league? Yeah, but see, Giannis, that stuff ain't gonna really work. Yeah, you'll contain Giannis, but Giannis gives up the ball more now. He trusts the guys around him. He's got better shooters around him now. Now we'll see what happened in the playoffs, but they got rid of, strongman Bledsoe. And now you got Holiday there, who's a much better shooter and scorer in there than old bowling ball. Bled. My boy Bled. He come in like a battering ram. Like, dude, this is not outside on the court. Oh yeah, man. My buddy was drunk watching that King Kong versus Godzilla, man. I wish I could tell you what he said. It is totally hilarious. He saw an entirely different type of movie. I mean, dog, you would think he was watching a title fight. Like, the comments he was making was like from somebody that was like they went there to watch the title fight, and he watching them and a certain fighter didn't perform. I'm like, dude, this is a movie. Man, he was taking it to the heart. Like, man, what the hell he was doing? Like, he ain't used the jab all night. You know, it was on that level. Oh man. I'm like, dude, do you realize that that's a movie? That there's really no 18-foot tall gorilla running around smashing buildings? LB's like, I'm gonna watch it for a third time. I watched it like 2.5. I went to the 4DX, chairs vibrating stuff. That was cool. They had the lights flashing every time Godzilla shot that balloon. Boom! But that was funny though when they had Godzilla smile. That was hilarious. When Godzilla smiled and stuff. He shot King Kong in the back. Ah! And he smiled like, yeah. I just thought that was hilarious. Yeah, and then he stuck the end of the rod right in the mouth. He stuck the rod and the thing right in his mouth. That was kind of in Godzilla's mouth. That was like symbolic to their fight that they had, where he did the same thing to them, like in their fight. When they had their fight, the one back in like 1950 something, when they had that King Kong Godzilla fight, and he stuck that tree in Godzilla's mouth. Yeah, he from that Atlanta show. Yeah, brother was cracking me up with them conspiracy theories. In the part where Godzilla finds the baby Kong, and hook King Kong up with that chick. Now they finna have a little Kong, and then there's gonna be another Godzilla there, and they're gonna have baby Godzilla. Oh yeah, all of this is based on factual information. That's what made it, Hollow Earth still is a talked about subject, It's a hot topic. Yeah, well, you got to stick with the color scheme. A part 2 of Freddie and Jason, I don't think you can forget that. That might happen someday way down the line. They screwed up both of them. Even though I like the Friday the 13th, the one that they did, the remake, I like that one. I didn't have no problems with that. I had no problems with that one. I think that was an underrated Friday the 13th. Michael Bay was putting out all these movies at the time. Like, they coming out with this money grab called the Unholy. I'm like, the Unholy? What is this? Oh, it's coming out on the most holiest day in the world, April 2nd. Come see the most unholy. I'm like, nah, y'all can keep that. Well, yeah, you want to make sure you're doing the right things, man. Oh my goodness, don't you know it's Good Friday? I've never had a bad Friday, but it's Good Friday, man. Oh, don't worry. They just pushed it back, what, a week? That's all. They probably want to do some finishing touches on it, get it all digitally looking better. Yeah, I know. Oh, don't forget to hit the like button. We should have been over 100 likes by now. Oh, man. Now I'm getting old. Seen those breaks, man. Getting old. Might have to get out of the game. Settle down, retire. Bones starting to ache. Can't move up the stairs. That's when it's time to retire. That's when you get married. When you need somebody to take care of you and change your diapers. Yeah, it's a good time to get married. Hit the like button for James Harden. I gotta do it the right way, you know. Well, the fact of the matter is this: there is no such thing as the perfect woman. You have to find somebody just as screwed up as you and settle down. No, when you get ready to wear diapers. Oh man, we were so ready for it. We was ready for the showdown. Yeah, no, man. You get to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, but it comes at a cost. You know, see, a girl can extend your life. If you got somebody in there, you have a heart attack, you in the house, you ain't got life alert. Ain't nobody coming at you. You probably would have survived had your girl been there. She would have changed your diet, everything. Well, I'll be damned. All right, well, let me go. I got to take care of this.